Hello, I'm Tina Kaczor, Senior Medical Editor here at the Natural Medicine Journal. I'm sitting here with Jeffrey Smith at the annual convention of the American Association of Naturopathic Physicians in Phoenix, Arizona. Jeffrey Smith is the author of Seeds of Deception as well as Genetic Roulette. Thanks for joining us for the interview.
You're most welcome.
So, my question is, can you just start by defining what genetically modified foods are and what the term GMO even means?
GMO means genetically modified organisms. You take genes from one species and you blast them in, literally with a gene gun often, into the DNA of plant cells, and then you clone those cells into crops. There's two major types. Those that are designed not to die when sprayed with herbicide. They're called herbicide tolerant. Like Roundup Ready soybeans tolerate Roundup herbicide. And then there's the pesticide-producing crops that produce insecticides that break open the stomach of insects and kills them. And that's for corn and cotton. And those are the two main reasons, and there's 9 genetically modified food crops that are out there related to food. Soy, corn, cotton, which is used for oil, canola, sugar from sugar beets, Hawaiian papaya, a little zucchini and crookneck squash, and now alfalfa, which is used for feeding animals.
And there's 9 genetically modified foods. How prevalent are they in our food in the United States anyway?
Well, soy and corn are practically omnipresent, as is sugar from sugar beets, and so I would say about 87–80% of all the foods in the supermarket, maybe 90% of all the processed foods, because of soy, corn, and sugar in particular.
And so, what is the real hazard of such foods? If they're omnipresent, it's assumed that they're safe, right?
That's right. Well, you see, the FDA policy states that we know of no information showing that GM foods are significantly different. Therefore, no safety studies are necessary, no labeling is necessary, no notification of the FDA is necessary if you want to put a GMO on the market. But this whole policy was based on a lie, because the scientists at the FDA, the overwhelming consensus were that GMOs were in fact different and unsafe. They could create allergies, toxins, new diseases, and nutritional problems. And they urged their superiors to require long-term studies, but were ignored. Now, years later, the American Academy of Environmental Medicine looked at the evidence and said the animal feeding studies show reproductive problems, immune system problems, accelerated aging, organ damage, gastrointestinal problems, dysfunctional regulation of cholesterol and insulin. And they said, on this basis, all doctors should prescribe non-GMO diets to every patient. And they put that out in their policy paper.
Wow. So whether it's doctors or patients or consumers want to get more information on the topic, where would they go?
Well, at our site at responsibletechnology.org, we have compiled a lot of the evidence. And we have it both for the patient or consumer level and blog speak, and we have it on the technical level for scientists and doctors. And I've compiled a lot of that in my book, Genetic Roulette, where the left side of each page is the executive summary, which I jokingly say for the attention deficit politician, and the right side is for their staff or for doctors, etc. And we found over and over again that the industry likes to distort or deny any evidence of wrongdoing. So they have their tobacco science, their rigged research, which we catch them absolutely red-handed, using the wrong control group, the wrong samples, the wrong detection methods, the wrong statistical methods, and they end up trying to force a conclusion that GMOs are safe. And I'll give you an example of what we've seen in rodent studies, okay? Many of these are peer-reviewed, published studies, that mice, rats, or hamsters fed GM soybeans, for example, had changes in the testicles, changes in the uterus and ovaries, changed the way the DNA functioned in the embryo offspring, smaller babies, fewer babies, 5-fold increase in infant mortality. By the 3rd generation of hamsters, some had hair growing in their mouths. And it was, these are really astounding results, but they're consistent in studies in different continents and with different types of rodents.
And all they did was eat the foods?
That's right. Same foods that we're eating. In fact, the pesticide-producing corn and cotton has its own particular risk. It produces a toxin which breaks open the stomach of insects and kills them, but they claim, the biotech industry claim, that the toxin is completely destroyed during digestion in human beings. But they just found in 93% of the 30 pregnant women tested in Canada, the Bt toxin was in their blood. So it isn't destroyed during digestion. They claim that the Bt toxin has no impact on humans or mammals, but when it's sprayed in its natural form, hundreds of people got allergic or flu-like symptoms, some had to go to the hospital, and it's in a much more concentrated format in these GM foods, and now they allow animals to graze on these Bt toxin-producing cotton plants after harvest in India. Thousands of sheep died, buffalo died, goats died. The farm workers are getting itching rashes all over their bodies. This is documented. We have the evidence, we have the pictures, we have the interviews, we have the case studies, and it's being completely dismissed by the authorities who are largely in lockstep with the biotech industry.
Wow. Well, thanks for joining me and bringing this to light. I think there's a lot more voice to this whole topic that needs to happen. So hopefully whoever's listening to our interview here will go on and look at your books and your website.
And the other website is non-GMOshoppingguide.com, where people can see thousands of products that are non-GMO.
That's helpful.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.